Morning all, we have a first day Reddit post here. The guy says, went on a great first day and then a couple of days later I got this text. Is this normal? So let's read on. Hi, I'm 23 years old, got this text a couple of days after a date with a beautiful woman who's 24. We had lots of fun, she couldn't stop telling me how much of a good time she had and even wanted to go on a second. Well, usually I think guys overstate how good a date is when the woman might be sitting there thinking she'd rather be anywhere else but here. But to be fair, it does sound like she did have a good time. She kept telling him and she was trying to organise a second date, so everything seems to go well. So I wonder where he dropped the ball. She said herself, what a great connection we had. But then 2 days later I get this message. And it's a long one. She says, I want to be honest with you because I respect you. I talked to my therapist. Uh-oh. She's 24 and she already has a therapist. And she helped me realise that things have been moving a bit faster than I'm ready for. And that I don't owe anyone anything this early on. What? Look, I'm not a therapist. I just give out advice from my experiences in the dating game. But that therapist advice sounds absolutely awful and it's giving me vibes of misery likes company. Maybe she's miserable in her dating life, so she wants others to feel miserable too. And yeah, she's a therapist, she's supposed to be helping people, but I'm already getting the vibe that that's not high on her agenda, and she could be some raging radical feminist who hates men and she doesn't want her clients to have happiness um, with the opposite sex. But I don't think it's moving too fast. You had a great first date and now you want to go to a second date. Like what's going on here? Now maybe this woman's telling this therapist certain stories that aren't quite the truth, which is why the therapist is giving this advice. But yeah, awful advice. And on top of that, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, if she's getting told what to do by people, then maybe she isn't the right girl for you, because you don't want to be with someone who is easily, her mind's easily changed by others, is basically what I'm trying to say. So maybe this is a blessing actually, because this has become a right headache, because you don't want to be with a girl who's always listening to her friend's advice. You know, her friend says, oh yeah, your boyfriend should be doing this for you. Oh yeah, your boyfriend should have proposed to you by now. You don't want someone who's going to easily be pushed in certain directions by other people. Because then you're going to have a situation where her girlfriend's going to be like, oh yeah, you got to come on the girls' holiday. Please come, or it's manipulative by your boyfriend if you don't come. You get the idea. So you don't want to be with a girl who's easily pushed in certain directions. She continues, she says, right now I really do need to focus on myself and where I'm at emotionally. I don't think it would be fair to continue things romantically. To be fair, that is probably a good point. She probably shouldn't be dating if she's going through some issues emotionally. Look, in some ways it's good that she's going to a therapist to get things sorted, but also at the same time, therapists are very expensive. So I'm thinking maybe she does have some really, yeah, she has some skeletons in the closet and she needs to get those resolved before being able to get into a relationship. So yeah, maybe you don't want to get too tied up with this girl because she could make your life hell. She says, you're a really kind person. I wanted to be upfront rather than lead you on, especially before your interview tomorrow. Oh, this guy has a really important interview and his heart's just been crushed. Yeah, look, at least she's being honest and not dragging this guy along, but if I was her, I would have waited till after the interview. Let's have a sip of coffee and we'll continue on with this post. He says, low key, this hurts, but this was my response. Did I handle it okay? He says, okay, I understand. You for sure don't owe me anything, even though I really like you too. You got to do what's best for you. Then after that, I would have said, wish you all the best, reach out if things change. However, he continues. And it's understandable because you just got out of a toxic relationship only 2 months ago, so I understand it takes time. Again, you don't need to say all this stuff like you should have ended this message ages ago. But again, this is some extra information. A lot of people you're going to be dating probably do have exes in the background or skeletons in the closet, and they're just not ready to date. And you got to pick up on those signs, especially if they bring it up on the first date. As a guy, don't bring up exes on a first date, or don't ask her about her exes on a first date. But if she's going to bring it up, then listen, because you're going to learn a lot about that girl in these discussions. But yeah, you don't want to be dating a girl who's recently out of a relationship, especially if it's toxic. Just use them for fun instead of something more serious. He says, I'm down to take things slow, but if you want to disengage completely, that's okay too. And if that's the case, I wish you all the best and I hope things go well for you. Yeah, okay. It's a bit of a long response, but yeah, it's fine. It's not like you were begging to see her, you made your point clear. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise if this girl comes back in the future, especially if the date went so well, but at the same time, she really liked you. She wouldn't let someone else who's never met you decide on whether she should see you again or not. So, even though you had a great first date, maybe it wasn't as strong as you first thought. And also, this whole therapist thing could be an absolute lie. Maybe she's dating other men and she just found a guy who she matches with much better than you. Because women do lie, like men, but women do lie to disengage from possible sticky situations, because she doesn't want to upset you, she doesn't know if you're going to lose your shit as a guy. So yeah, she might come up with some waffle to cover herself from being attacked. Anyway, that's all guys. Cheers. See ya.